Today's Daily Dose of Math is part of a series of videos about basic algebra skills. Specifically, today we're looking at subtracting. And by that I mean, what do I do when my variable, my unknown, in an equation has a number subtracted from it? How do I deal with that when I'm doing algebra? Let's look at some examples on the desktop. In our top left example, we have x minus 3 equals 1. Our unknown is x, and it is having 3 subtracted from it. I want to get the unknown to be alone. I want the x alone on one side of the equal sign. The best way to do that, since I am having 3 subtracted from it, is to do the opposite and add 3. But the rule of algebra is, if I'm going to add 3 on the left side, I also have to add 3 on the right side. Whatever we do on one side of an equation, we always have to do on the other side. Now these 3's cancel. And my x is alone on the left side of the equal sign. Since on the right side 1 plus 3 equals 4, I'm able to write x equals 4, and I have my answer. The second example, down here on the bottom left, is 5 equals x minus 2. It's the same situation, except this time the x is on the right side of the equals. But what we do is still the same technique. Since we're subtracting 2 from our x on the right side, we add 2 on both sides. These 2's cancel. My x is alone on the right side of the equal sign, and 5 plus 2 equals 7. So I have 7 equals x. That's a little weird. It seems to be written backwards. But luckily, we can just write it backwards if we want. So 7 equals x means x equals 7, and I have my answer. On the bottom right, I have x minus 8 equals negative 3. What's different about this example is we have a negative number involved. But the technique, again, is still the same. Since we're subtracting an 8 from our x, we add an 8 on both sides. These 8's cancel. Negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5. My x is isolated on the left side of the equal sign, and on the right side I have positive 5. X equals 5 is my answer. Finally, let's look at this one on the top right. It's the same question as we did first on the top left, but I'm going to show you a shortcut. Once students become accustomed to doing this technique, they often prefer, instead of showing minus 3 plus 3 on the left side, they prefer to just add a 3 on the right side and stop showing the minus 3 on the left. What they're doing is they're moving the minus 3 across to the other side of the equal sign, but they're changing its sign. This achieves the same thing that we do when we show it this way. X equals 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. So x equals 4 is my answer. It's the same answer. If you prefer using the shortcut, that's fine. So now that we've practiced that a bit, we can answer this question that we have on the whiteboard. A 10 is being subtracted from my x, so I have to add a 10 on both sides. These cancel. My x is isolated on the left side of the equals, and 5 plus 10 is 15. So I have my answer. That is today's Daily Dose of Math. Please like, subscribe, and share.